It is 1905, Bavaria. A man stands in front of a government building, reading a deportation order. His hands shake, not from fear, but pure rage. He has just been expelled from his own birthplace for a crime he committed 20 years ago, leaving without permission. His name is Friedrich Trump. He fled Germany to dodge the draft. He made his fortune in America running hotels in mining camps, where gold was the only currency that mattered. Now, the country he abandoned is throwing him out forever. He will write letters. He will beg the Prince Regent for mercy. He will lose, and because he loses, his grandson will be born American. That grandson will become the 45th President of the United States. This is the story of the man who gambled everything on America and won. Friedrich was born in 1869 in Kallstadt, a wine village in Bavaria, where cobblestone streets wound between half-timbered houses, and everyone knew your family back 3 generations. At 16, he faced a choice: stay and serve in the German military, or run to America and never look back. The military service was mandatory. 2 years of drills, discipline, and marching orders. For a restless teenager in a small village where nothing ever changed, it felt like a prison sentence. His older sister, Katharina, had already made the journey across the Atlantic in 1883. She sent letters describing a different world, a place where young men could reinvent themselves, where no one cared about your father's profession or your family name. In October 1885, Friedrich made his move. He traveled to Bremen and boarded the steamship Eider. 12 days in steerage, the cheapest passage, cramped quarters below deck, the constant pitch and roll of the Atlantic. The ship docked at Castle Garden in New York City. Friedrich Trump stepped onto American soil as an illegal immigrant. He had violated Bavarian law by leaving without completing his mandatory 2 years of military service. The German bureaucracy would note this absence in their records. They would remember. There was no going back now. Friedrich went straight to his sister's place in Manhattan. Within hours, he found a German-speaking barber and started work the next day. He cut hair before he'd even unpacked. For 6 years, Friedrich barbered in the city, learning English phrase by phrase, saving every dollar, watching other men get rich while he swept hair off the floor. But barbering wasn't enough. He could see the ceiling. The real money was out west, where the rules were still being written. In 1891, he heard stories coming back from Seattle, a city exploding with miners and fortune seekers. He packed his tools and headed for the frontier. Here's what Friedrich understood that most immigrants didn't. You don't chase the gold. You chase the men who chase the gold. He scraped together enough cash to buy the fixtures of a closing restaurant and opened the dairy restaurant in Seattle's Tenderloin. The red light district, brothels, saloons, gambling halls lined the muddy streets. Friedrich served steak and eggs at midnight to working men with dirty hands and full pockets. Miners, loggers, drifters, men who paid in gold dust when they had it. The business thrived. The Tenderloin wasn't respectable, but it was profitable. Within 7 years, he became a naturalized American citizen in 1892. Friedrich became Fredrick. Trump became Trump. The immigrant was erasing his past, one document at a time. Word spread about gold in the Cascade Mountains. A mining camp called Monte Cristo was booming. Rough shacks, men working claims that might pay or might be worthless. Friedrich didn't mine. He fed miners. He filed a mining claim, not to dig for gold, but to build a boarding house and restaurant on it. The miners needed food and beds more than they needed another prospector. They elected him Justice of the Peace by a landslide, 32 votes to 5. A 20-something German immigrant was now a judge on the American frontier, settling disputes over claims and keeping order. Then Monte Cristo played out. The ore wasn't as rich as promised. The mines went quiet. Men packed up and left for the next strike, the next rumor. Friedrich saw it coming and was already planning his next move before the camp died. The Klondike gold rush explodes in 1897. Tens of thousands flood the frozen north, chasing rumors of fortune. Most fail, most freeze, most go home broke, if they make it home at all. He knew where the profit lay. He partners with Ernest Levin and opens the Arctic Hotel in Bennett, British Columbia, positioned perfectly on the White Pass route to the gold fields. Every man heading to Dawson City came through Bennett. Hot meals, warm beds, cold drinks. The rooms upstairs offer private suites for ladies. Gold scales mounted in every room. Miners don't pay in dollars. They weigh out their fortunes right there. Fredrick serves oysters and lobster in the wilderness. Men who've been eating hardtack for months will pay anything. A local newspaper warns that respectable women shouldn't stay at the Arctic because of the noise from the female patrons at night. Friedrich doesn't apologize. He's not running a church. The bar never closes. The scales never stop weighing gold. Then the Canadian authorities start cracking down. The Mounties are raiding establishments without licenses, places with prostitution. The Arctic Hotel is on their radar. Friedrich sells his share to Ernest Levin right before the crackdown hits. Perfect timing, as always. He walks away with 80,000 marks in cash, roughly $500,000 in modern buying power. He boards a ship back to Germany. The boy who ran away is coming back rich, with plans to find a wife. In Kallstadt, Friedrich is a success story. The boy who ran away came back rich. American suit, American confidence. He's 29 years old. He meets Elizabeth Christ in the village. She's 26, never married, from a respectable family. He courts her the way men courted in Bavaria, properly, with her parents' permission. They marry in 1902. He tells her about America, his restaurants, his plans. They'll build a house here first, live in Kallstadt for a while, let her family see their daughter settled before crossing the ocean. Friedrich is building the house, buying property, planning a peaceful life he thinks he's earned. Then the letter arrives from the Royal Bavarian Ministry. Leave immediately. The charge, in 1885, when he left for America, he never officially deregistered with the government. 20 years later, they finally noticed. The penalty is permanent expulsion from Bavaria. Friedrich writes a desperate appeal to Prince Regent Luitpold.
Most serene, most powerful Prince Regent. I was born in Kallstadt on March 14th, 1869. My parents were honest, plain, pious vineyard workers. I emigrated in 1885, in my 16th year. In America, I carried on my business with diligence, discretion, and prudence. The most deferential request is made that the most gracious Prince Regent might himself intercede in this matter and allow my family and me to stay in the most beloved Bavaria.
He waits. Weeks pass. Elizabeth's anxiety grows. Friedrich writes again, more desperate. He emphasizes his wife's condition, his investment in property, his daughter. It's the only time in his life Friedrich Trump begs for anything. The answer comes back. Denied. The American citizen and pensioner Friedrich Trump is ordered to leave. Forever. The gamble he took at 16 had finally come full circle. In July 1905, they board a ship back to New York, Elizabeth leaving her family. Friedrich leaving the only victory he couldn't buy. This time, his hands do shake. Back in New York, Friedrich opens a shop on Jamaica Avenue. Then real estate, a lot here, a building there, parcels across Queens. The same instinct that built the Arctic Hotel now applied to tenement properties. His son Fred is born in 1905, shortly after their return, an American by birth. Fred watches everything, the negotiations, the timing, the aggression. Spanish flu sweeps the world. Friedrich's lungs fill with fluid. He's 49. He survived Klondike winters and frontier camps, but not this. May 30th, 1918. Friedrich Trump dies in Queens, but Fred remembers, not the hotels or the gold scales. The letter his father wrote, begging to stay. The only time Friedrich Trump ever lost. Fred builds a real estate empire across Brooklyn and Queens. He teaches his son Donald the same principles. Be aggressive, think big, never apologize, never beg, never lose. The psychology of winning that started in a Bavarian wine village, refined in gold rush camps, passes down through generations. The grandfather fled Germany to dodge the draft. The grandson became commander-in-chief. One 16-year-old's gamble on America echoed for a century. History doesn't care about your plans. It only cares what you do when they fall apart.